Hello, everyone. Welcome today to episode 3 of our alumni series. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen and just do a quick introduction so that we can get started so we can manage the time. Thank you all for coming today. So this is ScholarUP Mentoring Academy, Voices of Impact. That is what I'm calling this series. And today is episode 3. We've had 2 episodes in the past, which was really wonderful. And I wanted to launch this. ScholarUP has been going on now 17 cohorts. So we are going to 2 years. We've been there a while. And this is something that I've always wanted to do, even since last year. But somehow there was always something in the way, something not working out. And eventually I was like, no, I'm going to do this because I believe so much in continuity of learning, right? So people come in for our LinkedIn Elevation program, which is where all of the speakers come from, all these episodes, all the previous episodes and the upcoming episodes. I hope that it will be members from the community that will just come back to share some of their knowledge with us. That said, my name is Dr. Amaka. For those of you who don't know me, probably the guests who are here, like Dr. Anna's mom, or some other people you've invited. And I'm the founder and lead coach of ScholarUP Mentoring Academy. I was just describing that. So what I do, I'm a personal branding coach and I'm a certified professional life coach. So I kind of blend that life coaching into the personal branding thing to help people to do the inner workings of improving yourself before you want to brand yourself as something, right? So you are not performing. That way you can truly build a brand that you are happy and excited about, and a brand that truly reflects what you want to put into the world. So I'm also a US grad school coach. So I'm from Nigeria and I'm currently now in the US. I came here for my PhD, which I wrapped up last December. Oh, wow, it's been, I can no longer say I just graduated, right? So it's been a while. It's going to a year. So I also guide students who are trying to toe the same path, mostly African students who are trying to come to the US for school. So I help them to find scholarship, improve their essays and all of that. But professionally, my degrees are in agriculture, right? My bachelor's, master's, PhD. Right now, I work in the ag tech industry, so that is what I really do. I work around the technology operations and all of those things, providing technology for growers. And why I'm sharing this is not just random. It's not just giving you random information about myself. It's just to impress upon your mind that you can really go your own path, right? So I'm a scientist by training, but still that I have a huge passion for people, which was what led to this community that I've continued to build over the past 1 year. I just like helping people to build their confidence, be their best self, show up, just understand that no one is really coming. You have to do your best to put your best foot forward. So the program that has brought in all of these wonderful alumni, who you hear from 3 of them today, come December, you hear from another group of people. That's the plan. This is our LinkedIn Elevation program. It's a 21 days program, which people learn how to do content writing, content marketing, how to show up on LinkedIn and actually build a brand. And so far, we've had participants from over 20 countries right now. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, I can't really believe that we've done this, because it's something that has kind of grown over time, and I've refined the process and I've continued moving forward, right? So these are some of our wonderful alumni. I really always like celebrating people. It gives me a lot of joy. So these are some of the wonderful people that have been through our program. There's many more of them that you would get to meet from the alumni community. So today, that being said, I'm keeping my introduction very short. I don't want to keep going on and on. Okay, let me specially invite you to this, right, before I forget. I've been invited by Graphy. Graphy is an Indian company. They want me to come and talk about how to build a learning community, right? So somehow I've become an expert on this subject. Since I've done it, they want me to come and talk about how do you build a learning community, one like ScholarUP that teaches, impacts, and pays. And so I'll be doing this webinar on Tuesday, November 11 at 10 a.m. CST. So I'll put a link in the chat once I stop sharing. You can sign up to attend. It's free. It's like a 1 hour, less than an hour webinar where I'm just going to share my experience with actually setting up a community where you can truly bring people together that want to stay together and learn together. So I'll put that link in the chat once I stop sharing, and you can sign up to attend. You are specially invited. All right. That being said, ma Ibironke Semowo, she's my own special mama in ScholarUP, right? She's the person I always run to go and tell all the things that are happening. So she's a mindful parenting educator and literacy coach dedicated to helping families build confident children and strong learning habits. As founder of the Parents Lounge and the Learn with Mrs. S, she delivers practical, nurturing guidance for both parents and young learners. Her mission is simple: empower households to raise resilient kids, foster lifelong learners, and nurture communities of care, one conversation and one child at a time. So with a lot of love emojis, with a lot of happiness, let's bring up my Ibironke while I stop sharing. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation today. And I forgot to add, she's one of the advisory board members at ScholarUP, right? So she's always like really supporting and she gives a lot of advice, right? So you are welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, you have the floor now.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. Thank you for the honor of this invitation. Thank you for being put on this panel with the very cerebral people. I remember the first time I joined this program, a few days into it, I was asking myself, who sent you on this errand to go and join a community that is run by a PhD holder? You've just gone to put yourself in trouble. But little did I know that I was on a journey somewhere. So it's an honor to be here, Dr. Maka, Professor Roxanna, and Dr. Brew. My brief tonight is simple. It's to tell us that in everything that we do, while we're seeking for balance, balance is one of the most difficult things to attain when you are being pulled in different directions. And I always tell myself that I'm not a scale. So I'm not trying to balance anything. I'm only trying to align with the season that I'm in. At some point in each of our lives, something will take precedence over the other. Something will demand more attention than another thing. Even in your parenting journey, there are different phases. When you have toddlers that demand every minute of your time, when you have teenagers who you just need to keep an eye on, when you have young adults who have gone beyond you teaching them or even counseling them in some cases, all you need to do at that time is pray for them. But I would like to start by acknowledging something crucial. If you look at your calendars as professionals, business people, career people who are parents, if you look at your calendars, look at your to-do list, whether you're navigating, the constant motion of having a toddler or the complex world of raising teenagers and young adults, the world is moving faster than we knew it when we were growing up. The world is moving at the speed of light. So the present day parent is not lazy. We're just maxed out. We're maxed out because we're being pulled in different directions. There is a desire to succeed, the desire to conquer new territories, the desire to build brands like we're doing here. It's always us in motion. So we're not lazy. We're just running an endless race, And we often assume that each of those parts of us demands 100% of our attention. But nothing can be further from the truth. In order for us to be able to thrive in all the areas that we're being forced into or that we found ourselves, we need to look critically. What percentage of my time and presence does this demand at this time in my life? And can I give it to it? It is only when we're able to objectively look at that we can start to thrive in the different areas that we're in. Our presence as parents is not the amount of time. When I talk about presence in mindful parenting, the first objection I get from parents is, well, how do we make all of this time? It is not the quantity It's the quality of the time that you spend as a parent that confers on you that role of a present parent. Are you making time out of your busy schedule for the home? When you make that time, especially in this technology-driven world, this hustle culture that we have found ourselves, are you making time for your family? When you make that time, is it strictly for them, or are you just physically there and mentally absent? It is important. I keep using the example that when I had children young who were living at home, and I was in paid employment, I haven't always been a teacher. I haven't always been a teacher. At some point, I was in the corporate sector, wearing the parcels, the high heels and all, until passion drove me back to where I am today. When I was there in that rat race and I had children, raising children, I wasn't doing socials. I wasn't doing weekend socials, not because I didn't have the invites or I didn't have the time, but it was the season of my life. I wasn't going to leave home 6 a.m. Monday to Friday, come back when my children are practically in bed, and then on Saturday morning again, jump up and go to someone's wedding. No, they will get married with or without me. So why must I sacrifice my own presence for my children for somebody's wedding? If I'm able to get out of the house by 5 or 6 p.m., I'll meet whatever part of the function I made. But at that season, that was what I needed to pay attention to. Right now, you could invite me to a wedding ceremony at 8 a.m. on Monday, and I'm there. That's the season of life that I'm in. So what stresses us is we not honoring the times that we're in. You need to honor your times and give yourself the grace to do what is right at that time. And I tell people that being present as a parent isn't the very little things. When you hear mindful parenting or be present as a parent, parents think I need to drop my career, I need to drop my business. No, you work it into your time. No matter how busy you are, when something is important to you, you include it in your busy. You don't need to dedicate, special days to be a parent, a special day to be a professional. There will never be enough time because we cannot have more than 24 hours in a day. Let's realize that there will never be enough time. You're going to fashion time for the things that are important to you. I tell parents, cross-parenting is important. If you cannot regulate yourself, you will be in constant conflict in the home with your children. You'll find yourself constantly screaming, and it wears you out, especially as a busy professional. It wears you out. Cross-parenting, learn to regulate yourself, learn to respond and not react. It is in our nature. I hope African mothers haven't left the group chat at this point. It is in our nature to think that the more aggressive I am, the better a parent I am. No, it doesn't work that way anymore because our parents who did it didn't have the kind of hustle culture that we have. So if you keep doing that with a kind of high level careers and businesses that you run, the studying that you're doing, it's a recipe for disaster. Give undivided attention when you are with your children. Those undivided attentions is in the everyday activities, your car ride to school with your child, car rides to places of worship, while you're cooking in the kitchen, setting the table, the bedtime hug, the bath before bedtime, the prayer time before your little child sleeps. All those are the moments that we're asking for presence about. It's not about packing up your career or your business to be a present parent. That's not even going to work in today's economy. That's our reality. Our reality is that we have to look for how to stay productive while not taking our eyes off the ball. The ball in this case are the children. Once you've brought them to this world, they are your project. So you don't take your eyes off the ball while still finding your own personal fulfillment. So especially when your children start growing, they're very easy to manage when they're toddlers. You only need to give them that look, or that voice, and they stay in line. But when they start becoming teenagers, that's when you will have the true test of, have you been present in their lives? You cannot discipline a child that you haven't been present with. What you would have all the time is rebellion. When parents come to me and say, my child is rebellious, I say, no, your child is not rebellious. Your child needs attention. And that's the only way that their brain can process it. They need attention, they will play out. And that adds to your stress in the other areas of your life. So build routines, start with structures and routines. Nobody needs structure and routines right now more than modern day parents. Let your children grow up with structures and routines, and you won't have to punish them. Honestly, it sounds very simple, but that's what it is. You won't need to run after them. You will need to punish them. They grow up disciplined because they have the structure and they have the routines, and it gives you time. I looked for structure and routines for my children out of selfishness. I have to be honest, so that I can have time to face other things and I'm not constantly in battle with them in the home. So that was how I found mindful parenting, because I needed to raise children who were disciplined, and I didn't want to do it in chaos. So that's what I always tell people. And before Dr. Amaka calls me to leave the stage, like I said before, I'm going to leave you with one challenge before you go, just one challenge. This week, as we're starting this week as parents, just pick one thing. It's called the One Thing Challenge. Just pick one thing that you will do intentionally and consistently. After all, we're all consistent and intentional on LinkedIn. Pick one thing that you will do consistently. I see people saying, be consistent. I say, I hope you're being consistent in the areas that matter too. Pick something. A bedtime ritual with your child if you have a toddler, a check-in with your teenager if you have a teenager, a phone call, regularly to your young adults who are not at home or something. Pick something that you're doing with your child and do it consistently over 1 week. And you will see that it starts becoming a habit that you look forward to, and it builds that emotional connection with your child. We want to raise responsible, connected, and confident children, but we're not going to do it in chaos or conflict. Thank you very much. I hope I've been able to deliver on my brief. Thank you, Dr. Maka.
I'm clapping for you, so I want to unmute so that you can hear it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the charge. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the nuggets. I believe this is something that we all cannot stop hearing. It's like something that is like it's a continuous learning journey. So thank you so much for coming to share with us and share so generously as usual. You always share very generously of your time, your knowledge, and please more claps now. More claps. Yes, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, my Ibironke. So I'm going to share now to bring in the next person. And I think for me, something that stood out most from what you said a lot of things. But what stood out for me is intentionality. We are in this hustle culture. It is what it is. It's about creating the time now. So it's not like waiting to have the time, but intentionally creating the time to really carry on that assignment and move forward with it. Thank you so much. So I'm going to share so that we can switch gears, talk a little bit about learning now. Professor Roxanna is our next speaker. So I'm going to move forward. Professor Roxanna Ezenekwe is a passionate college mathematics professor with over 30 years of experience. She's an author of 7 books with a strong focus on making mathematics and financial literacy accessible and engaging. She's also the founder and CEO of Rosie EZ Consulting LLC, helping educators turn expertise into impactful digital products. She holds advanced degrees in education and brings years of experience teaching in both online and in-person formats. Through her digital platforms, she translates complex concepts. Prof has YouTube channel with plenty thousand people. Maybe she'll tell us about it. I'm trying to grow on YouTube. So Prof will tell me how to do it. So through her digital platforms, She translates complex concepts into clear, actionable ideas, especially for learners and adults seeking to build their knowledge and financial confidence. Her mission is simple: to empower others to understand, apply, and succeed with math and money, one lesson at a time. So with a lot of love and a lot of emojis, let us welcome Professor Roxanna to the stage. Thank you so much, Prof, for coming today to share with us. I really appreciate your presence. I appreciate your support. It means a whole lot to me. You have the stage, ma.
Thank you so much, my ever coach, Dr. Amaka. Thank you so much. I am always saying that you need to get a coach. And when you get a coach, you better be the one that's like Dr. Amaka. You get a coach that is empathetic. She's always going to be there for you, disciplined, confident, and resilient, always working. So I just don't know. Sometimes I lack words to describe you. Thank you so much. Roxanna Ezenekwe is from Nigeria. Someone asked me, is your name from Nigeria? I said, I am from Nigeria. My name is from Nigeria. Everything about me. Actually, I'm Igbo. I came from Igbo land, married an Igbo man, maybe a few yards away from my house. He lives about 100 yards away from my house. And came to America about 4 decades. 4 decades ago. I got married, I have 5 children, 3 boys. The first 3 are boys, the second 2 are girls. And I have 13 grandchildren. You won't believe it. The 13th one is on the way, but I already call her a grandchild. I'm excited that she will be here in 2 weeks. I'm telling you that I have a big family. So I also read accountancy from University of Nigeria. So I read mathematics and I read accountancy from University of Nigeria. But, well, I have those big boys and girls in my house. Even though I could find nannies in Nigeria to take care of them, we decided that we're not just going to leave them for nannies. Because as a parent, you are a model. You cannot model in absentia. So we decided that, okay, even though that I'm an accountant, we have to stay home. I have to stay home, take the children to school when I'm leaving in the morning. In other words, teach. I teach mathematics. I taught high school all the time when I was in Nigeria. So whenever I'm leaving, I have to take my children to school, make sure they are there, ask the teacher what they need and what, because when they are in your house, they can be running their mouths, but when they get to school, they will probably not say anything. So I just had to find out how are they behaving before, because nobody takes care of your child like you do. And so being a mother, being a parent is not just having children. So I decided to, okay, even though I'm going to make a lot of money being an accountant, but I have to take my children to school and actually know where they are. So that when we make that money, we can find people who are in the house. Okay, so that is why I'm here. I brought them to America about 4 decades ago through so many divine interventions. I can tell you, I'm a miracle. I can tell you that I'm a miracle. So, we were chasing this success. We always chase success. But, I believe that Jeremiah 29:11 says, God knows the plans he has for me. His plans to prosper me and not to harm me. And so he's going to prosper me if I obey him, like he says in Joshua chapter 1, verse 8, just obey the word of the Lord. Amen. So if I can teach my children the word, and so those are the principles why I decided to keep teaching, keep parenting, because it's not only teaching. While I'm a teacher in the classroom, I'm also a teacher in a home. a teacher at home and a teacher in the classroom. So, and when I came to America, there was no COVID when I came. I don't know if all of you remember COVID-19. So it was, is it 1921? Yeah, about 21, between 2019, I'm sorry. Between 2019 and 2021, there's something called pandemic, COVID. And I was teaching in college. I came here, I've been teaching in college. And after some time, almost half of the students were quarantined. So even though you are teaching, they will not be in class. They are watching you through, their own videos. Okay, so actually it's not my decision. So the school decided that in 2021 that all teachers need to go home and teach from home. And guess what? Before then, we were not trained to be online teachers. And I had to go to University of Wisconsin-Anderson during the COVID online to learn how to teach online. So I could teach my online students then. And so I had to go to school during the online class while teaching. Well, guess what? I can just tell you that if you determine to do anything, you will do it anyway, no matter what circumstance it is. And so I had to go and learn how to teach online, then taught my students. But unfortunately, or fortunately, some of those students didn't have enough Wi-Fi to learn, to listen to math instructions. You cannot just be teaching somewhere about logarithm and they don't know what logarithm, and they are watching on their phone. They are watching you on the phone. But luckily, we teach them and we record them. And I'm coming to that. That's digital assets. But sometimes we don't know we have these teachers. We have all kinds of, you don't even know you have them. There was a time I said, teachers, do you remember the PowerPoints that took you 2 weeks to create? They are your digital assets. You can invest them. You can monetize them. So those PowerPoints, those videos are my digital assets today. So after some time, I decided, okay, I need to post them on because I found out that YouTube, actually, you can post your videos, all those assets in YouTube. And while I was doing that for over 6 months, I didn't know they would pay me for doing that. So that I found out that when you have maybe you meet some criteria, you will be paid for people watching your videos. And it was not only that, I was happy that people could come and watch my videos. I am so happy that my handwork will help others. But I found out I could be paid too. That was good too. Anyway, so I just want to say thank you so much. Another part of the story is that when we came here, I told you I brought 5 children. And there were 4 or 5 young children. And so I couldn't just leave them like that. So I wasn't going to go to teach a lot of face-to-face. So I taught a lot of remote classes. And luckily, school paid free tuition. It was free tuition for us to go and learn how to teach online. And so we can teach our students. Okay, so that's how we came around over teaching online. And sometimes when you are given so many classes, you choose almost all online classes. That way, you can eyeball your family, you can eyeball your children, whether they are coming home with the school bus, are they leaving when they're supposed to leave? You want to go to your children's room and sometimes hook nose like I do and find out what is happening there. Because if you don't take time those children will grow the way you don't want. So I had to put my children first. Even in America, I haven't even practiced as an accountant. I'm still a teacher. I'm still a math teacher, making sure that. But anyway, I just want to let me know. So those children are grown. They're all married, and they have given us 13 grandchildren. Oh, guess what? My oldest grandchild is 14 years old. So you know. But I just want to say that determination takes you to everywhere, wherever you want to go. And 99% of where you get to is your attitude, your mindset. So what kind of mindset do you have? Do you believe you can do it? Someone asked me last year, what are you doing? You're going to learn from Dr. Amaka. I said, yeah, I'm going to learn. I can learn from anybody. You must have to be teachable. So whatever you're doing, are you teachable? Even when you go, I had a Nigerian that I don't want to say, okay, let me not call names, but she kept getting in trouble. She's teaching in America, she kept getting in trouble. And then she would just say it's because they are there. I said, don't say the bad word. Don't tell me they are racist. Well, if you're disciplined, you go to work and do what you're supposed to do, whether anybody is supervising you or not. Don't wait for people to supervise you. Stay disciplined. Have a positive mindset. And if they know that you know what you're doing, guess what? Somebody, those eyeballs watching you when you're not looking, they will come get you. Let me tell you, before, I think I'm taking too much time, but before, let me tell you, in LinkedIn, about 5 years ago, I was just minding my business, writing some articles, and I didn't know how to write them anywhere at that time. Dr. Maka showed me how to write articles. I can tell you this right now. Okay, so in LinkedIn, I just wrote those articles, but I always see the bad days. I hope you're listening to me. I always see the bad days, the anniversaries. So whoever has anniversaries, I'll go say, happy anniversary, happy birthday. I don't know who they are from Abraham, but guess what? One day, one doctor came and said, Professor Roxanna Ezenekwe, I know you are a math teacher. Would you like to teach for us? And I said, what do you want me to teach? Before I asked, he said, I want you to teach mathematics. They said you're very good in statistics. We need a statistics teacher. I didn't know this man, but he said he has been reading my articles. I'm saying this to tell you that those articles, those things you write, you may think that nobody sees them. It's not even those who are reading your articles and giving you check marks. It's not those who are commenting. There are eyeballs that are watching you. They are not commenting. So better do what Dr. Amaka is telling you. Do those things because they work. Because this doctor 5 years ago called me and said, I looked at your profile and I learned, I also asked around and learned that you can teach statistics. Can you teach for us? And that's how I got a job 5 years ago. So I got a job in a university, even though I was teaching in another college. I got a job teaching another college because somebody saw me. And how did they see me? Because I posted some articles. The reason why I'm repeating this is so that you know. You just have to know that whatever you're doing, the good and the bad, somebody's watching. I tell my children, the walls are watching you. Be careful what you do. The walls are watching. And never give us a bad name. We are all disciplined. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I think I'm taking too much time. I'll come back. Thank you, Dr. Amaka.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you, Dr. Brew, for allowing me to come and be with you. Yeah.
Thank you. So like I could listen to you on you're just one wisdom. Like I like it. I like listening to people who have lived the life, who can just share their experiences instead of sharing something they read somewhere. They can tell you this is my life and this is how it happened. Thank you so much for your humility, Prof. Thank you for always being there, supporting and being teachable, being willing to learn. Right? That's an example for even us, the younger ones, to know that age is a number. It's all about the mindset. If you have a growth mindset, you can learn from anywhere and anybody, and you continue to improve yourself. Thank you for all the lessons you've shared, and thank you for really highlighting that lesson of you're doing things you don't know people are watching, whether they are good or bad. That's the thing. Can be good, it can be bad. You don't know people are watching. And someday an opportunity just comes to you and say, oh, I've been seeing you do this. And you're like, oh, I didn't even know this person. So I'm not going to go on and on. Dr. Brew will now come and tell us about mental health because she's always writing about mental health. So let me just do a quick intro of Dr. H, as I like to call her, even though I know I should be saying her last name, but I like to call her Dr. H. She will come and tell us. So Dr. Anna Brew, she's a UK-based GP and occupational health physician who turned her own health challenges into purpose. As founder of Haven Keros Medical Center and creator of the Maverick Med podcast, she inspires others to embrace balance and holistic well-being with her powerful message, dead men don't walk. Right? That's a very powerful message because if you are dead, then that's a huge problem. With a lot of emoji, with a lot of love, let us welcome Dr. H, whose haircut is inspiring me to go and cut my own hair. This haircut is really inspiring me to go and do my own. Dr. Anna, thank you so much. I know how busy you are, always here and there, but I managed to track you down to bring you here. Thank you for honoring my invitation. I appreciate it. You have the...
First of all, Dr. Amaka, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am really honored. Ma Roxanna, Ma Ibironke, good evening. And I know by the Nigerian culture, I should probably be prostrating at this moment to greet you all. Thank you so much. Interestingly, I came with slides, but I will be really quick about it. Would you allow me to share it?
Yeah, let me make it so that everybody can share. Right, yeah. You can share now.
Ace. And just like Ma was saying, that people are watching. And when Dr. Maka invited me to come in, the initial date, I said, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to make it because I'll be in Dubai and I'll be talking about the impact of the gender pay gap. And interestingly, to have Ma talk about the fact that she actually is an accountant, but she's never been able to practice because of her family. And this is a topic that I'm going to talk about. So I thought like, oh, wow, I'm in good company. And on top of that, how did these people find me to invite me to come and talk about this topic? LinkedIn. LinkedIn. So yes, it is really important that we are present and we show ourselves in the right light. Ooh, I think I've started from the bottom.
Okay. Maybe you can. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
You know a quicker way that I
give us a sneak peek.
Yes. I'm taking a bottom-up approach.
Oh yeah, that's always something. I love it.
Right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Hannah Brew. I am a practicing general practitioner in the United Kingdom. I'm double certified, so I work as a GP and I also work as an occupational health physician. And when people ask me that what do I do, I tell them that I am a corporate wellness and inclusion consultant. And I always get that, what is that? So what I do is that I help corporate entities and busy professionals like myself to optimize their health needs or to help them to reach their health goals without compromising on work or productivity. So that is in a nutshell what I do. I like this picture because oftentimes that is how I feel like sometimes. You can see the only thing I probably have left is a diaper. So you'd see a feeding bottle, you're trying to work for the money, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. And that, I don't think it's particularly peculiar to me. For like Ibironke said initially, it is a juggle work being a mother or being a parent or even being a professional in today's world. It's no mean feat at all. So let's set the stage for our talk. I decided that we'll talk about a few definitions so that we'll be at the level ground. And then I'll talk you through a framework that I have been using and it works. So first of all, I talk about dead men don't work because no matter how much you think you love your job or your job loves you, you are only of need or of use to your workplace if you are alive. I mean, I can't imagine us walking into work and seeing a corpse strapped into a chair. It's against health and safety. It's against work ethics. We don't want you there if you are not alive. And so I've come up with this flourish framework, which I'll be taking us through this evening to help us to get a sort of balance across work and across our individual lives and mental health or mental well-being. So first of all, what is wellness? People brandish it around a lot. They use it loosely. And today we would learn that the proper definition of wellness is that it is an active pursuit of activities and choices and lifestyle that will lead to a state of holistic health. Holistic health means that it goes beyond physical. It looks at a broader aspect of our health and well-being. In the absence of that, we would get into burnout. And burnout is a clinical diagnosis. Again, you'd hear people throw it about and say things like, oh, I've started work for the past 3 days, I'm burnt out. No, you're not. You're probably tired or you're stressed. Because burnout is a clinical diagnosis. It actually comes under the ICD-10, which is the International Classification of Diseases, the 11th review. So it's a clinical diagnosis, like I mentioned. And you need to meet the 3 criteria for you to rightly say that you are burnt out. So the criteria is that 1, the person would have a feeling of depletion of their energy, or they would often present with being tired all the time. They would have decreased mental activity or a feeling of distance, or they feel really cynical about work. Like everything looks bad to them. Nothing seems to be working. Everybody is a racist at work. Everybody is against them. That is when you know that you're getting to the beginning of the end, or if you're not at the end already. And again, the 3rd criteria is that there is reduced professional efficacy. So things that you were initially able to do easily, now you realize that you are struggling. So basic things like mathematics, things that were like spinal level, you could just quick and snappy do it. Now you realize that you can't do it and you are struggling with it. And burnout, this term, cannot be used in other aspects of your life. So you, for instance, if it's not related to work, you cannot say that I'm burnt out. Just so that we all know. And I'm going to walk us through the flourish framework, like I said. So the flourish is going to be used as a mnemonic. And for the F, I start by saying that feel your own pulse. Have a self-assessment. You'll be amazed in the number of people who walk into my consulting room and they don't even know how they feel. You know, I ask you, how do they feel? And they're like, oh, what's that? And I say again, how do you feel? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you thirsty? No, because we have never given ourselves the opportunity to feel what we feel. So we can start with having a self-assessment. How do you feel and what do you want? Acknowledge and validate your own feeling. And based on that, we will be able to pick up from there and know where to go. I well appreciate that it's a very vulnerable situation, especially for the strong Black African man, for him to tell you that, oh, I feel sad. It's like, no, it doesn't make me manly. So what we tend to do is that we numb these feelings. So today, for the first time, if you've never done it, I'm encouraging you. How do you feel? After you've noticed how you feel, the next L is I'm encouraging you to live intentionally. We often forget that we are human beings and not human doings. And I say that because we get so productivity oriented and we just go, and we forgot to just be. And one of the questions that I ask my patients when they come, it's a really basic primary school question. I say, what are the main characteristics of living things? Living things grow, living things move, living things need food and water, and living things respond to their surroundings. Don't get so numb that you forget that you are a living thing and you need to go through these things. I've already encouraged us to try and live beyond productivity, and we should try and have our daily self-care. The O, I say, observe positive emotional practices. Thank you for bearing with me. I've just come back from a cold, and so my voice may sound slightly hoarse. So observe positive emotional practices. And what are these positive emotional practices? Practice mindfulness, practice meditation. You can try a gratitude journal or a gratitude meditation. And a simple act of kindness is a good one that helps with our mental being as busy professional people. So as an exercise, I can't see you, but I want you to do this with me. It won't be quick, trust me. So let's do a simple breathing exercise. If you could just all pause and take in a breath for 4 seconds. So breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's breathe out for another 4 seconds. And now that we've been able to ground ourselves, I want you to take a quick look around you and identify 5 things you can see. I can see my screen. I can see a ring light. I have a curtain in front of me. I have a desk. I have a pen. I have a phone. So this is a mindfulness exercise that is asking us to identify things that we see. Next, what 4 things do you feel? Some people actually have a tag in their clothes that is constantly scratching them, but they've never allowed themselves to feel it. What is the texture of what you are wearing? Is it woolen? Is it cotton? Is it silk? What ground is your feet on? Are you on a carpeted floor? Are you on a heated ground? Is it a porcelain tile? Is it cold? 4 things that you feel. 3 things that you hear. I can hear my own voice. And if I keep quiet, I can hear my heart beat. I can hear my breath as well. What 2 things can you smell? I had a bit of a splash just before we started and it's very coconutty. So I can smell that. And I had an orange, so I still have the aftertaste of the orange. And the last one is, what can you taste? So this is a really simple practice that we can do during the day, anytime when we get overwhelmed. I'll tell you what, sometimes in between my patients, sometimes someone will come and tell you a story. It's really sad. And I need to ground myself before I see the next person. And so I practice these little things to keep me alive and sane. The next one for the you is to upgrade yourself. And upgrading yourself doesn't necessarily mean take a master's course or do a PhD. Like the earlier speakers alluded to, do continuous professional development, get a mentor, get a coach, do something that you didn't used to do or you didn't know how to do earlier. A year ago, I wasn't on LinkedIn. It just wasn't my cup of tea because at that time I was a breastfeeding mom. And so that was what was my interest. But now that I've stopped breastfeeding, I can afford to be more present in other aspects of my life. Again, with the, upgrading yourself, explore and be curious. How many of you do not know the town next to you? Are you still saving for the big break? Get your passport, collect those visas and get going. And if it's difficult for you to get a visa, start with the town next to you, start with the next 2 towns. Just be, even in your own city, be curious around it. It really helps with our mental well-being and our growth. For the R, I know that for many years, people were told, oh, sleep is for the weak. We will all die. And then when we die, there's more sleep after death. We don't want that to happen to us. So we are saying that rest, reflect, and recuperate. For the I encourage us that we should inspire others. And Dr. Maka is showing us how to do this practically with the power of inspiration. You do not have to let all your ducks line up in a row before you inspire others. Write something, share a message, be that support for someone. And by doing so, sometimes we forget that we have our own problems. And so it's a good way for us to unburden ourselves by inspiring others. For the S of the flourish, I encourage you to share and connect mindfully. Make sure that you are keeping good company around you. Again, you need that fellowship, you need that collaboration, you need that support system. It helps to build emotional resilience.
Reactions.
Can you kindly mute yourself? Ace. And so the H for the flourish is to heal yourself. I'm sure by now you can tell that I really like mnemonics. I'm a medical doctor. I went to medical school. Things are hard to remember. And so I always use mnemonics as a clutch to remember things. So I say heal yourself through dreams. What are dreams? D is going to be for diet. You want to make sure that you are having a high fiber diet, plant-based more, and then you want to cut out on a lot of fatty food. Just make sure that you're eating a clean diet all the time. The R is for you to establish and cultivate real good relationships, good people that you can lean on, good people that you can run to and cry as support systems whenever the need arises. Because trust me, you would need them. The times are hard. And E is for you to exercise. The WHO is encouraging us that we do at least 30 minutes, 5 days of the week. What I say is, if you can't do the 150, the 30 minutes, 5 days comes around 150 minutes a week. You can split it however you want. Just make sure that you achieve it at the end of the day. And the A in the dreams is addiction avoidance. People come back from work and they say, oh, I'm so stressed, before you realize a bottle of wine is gone. And then a bottle of wine is equivalent to 11 units of alcohol. So if you're drinking 1 bottle of wine every night, it will be little wonder that very soon your kidney, your liver, your heart, they'll all be screaming for help. It's just a matter of time. And then manage your stress. Listen, life has become really stressful nowadays. And so you have to be intentional about minimizing it. So do manage your stress. Find ways that help you to do it. And for the last letter in the dreams, I'm encouraging you to find restorative sleep. I can't answer the number of times people ask me how many hours is good enough sleep. I say each to their own. If it has to be broken for you to feel that you have been able to achieve it. So for us, it is a refreshing, restorative sleep. Try and make sure that you get it. 5 to 8 hours, whatever works for you, do it. And so in conclusion, this evening, I'm just encouraging us that we should practice this flourish framework. 1, so F, feel your own pulse, do the self-assessment. L, live intentionally. O, observe positive emotional practices. U, upgrade yourself. R, rest, reflect, and recuperate. I, inspire others. S, share and connect mindfully. And H, heal yourself. And is it possible for us as mental health and as ambitious professionals to have mental health and mental wellness? My answer is yes, it is possible. I'm happy for us to answer any questions that are available. And if you're not able to, by all means, let's connect on LinkedIn. My name is Dr. Brew. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna. That was really, really well packed. And I feel like all the conversations we've had this evening for most of you, morning for me is almost noon, has just kind of flowed from one to the other, just to give us this rounded truth that, yeah, life is stressful, but we have to figure out a way to keep moving forward. And I really like that you talked about burnout as a clinical condition. I didn't know that because people throw that word around a lot, you know. Because for me, people have been telling me for as long as I can remember that I will burn out. I'm like, maybe I will, but for right now, because there is so many things that has not been achieved, then it's not going to happen, right? So it's good that you cleared that up. That was really like new knowledge for me. I had never known that. Thank you so much for your time. So now we'll take some questions. We'll have a couple of minutes, like 10 more minutes to be out of here. If you have any question, please feel free to put it in the chat while I do like the concluding information. I'll be looking at the chat. There's a lot of lovely thank yous for all the speakers. So if you have a question, you feel like any question that my Ibironke, Professor Roxanna, Dr. H, any question they can answer for you, feel free to put it in the chat. Make sure you're connected with them on LinkedIn, right? That's one key place where all of us connected because I said, come, let's do LinkedIn elevation. I remember the day I went to drag Dr. Anna and she's like, they're now coming to your DM. I said, me, I have confidence now. Come, let's go and do LinkedIn elevation. And she's been in the cohort for like 6 months. I'm like, yeah, you have to keep showing up, right? We have to find the time to do some of these things. It's not always easy. And sometimes doing it with like-minded people just makes it possible, right? That's the whole thing. So while I'm waiting for the question, I'm just going to share a couple of announcements, just so that we can be out of here in 10 minutes. So if there's any question in the chat, I'm going to check that once I'm done. All right. If you want to join our LinkedIn Elevation program, feel free to reach out to me. We have lovely testimonials from wonderful people who has been through our program, and it's really affordable for the monthly program. The first year is just $25, right? So if you want to be a part of it, if you've not been a part of it, feel free to reach out to me after now. You can connect on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp. Either of it works for me, really. Sometimes WhatsApp is much more easier. And then we also have like the one-on-one. If you want me to coach you, hold your hand, that's also available. You want to reach out to me and we can talk about it in detail. The most important thing is to build a presence that you're proud of, right? You want to build a presence that is you, that is not performative. Now we have our global conference. It's oncoming. It's 2 weeks, 2 weeks to our conference, and I'm so excited. It's November 22nd and 23rd, the Ascension. We have 29 speakers from like more than 12 different countries. It's going to be a 2-day conference. It's going to be online and it's free access, right? So feel free to register. If you've not, you can register on our website, and I think you can scan this QR code and it will take you directly to the website where to register, so you get more information about this conference. You really don't want to miss it. I'm so sure the amount of work, my Ibironke will tell you, the amount of work that has gone into planning this conference, the amount of effort, the blood and tears that has gone into it. You don't want to miss out. You want to be a part of it. All right. And then in this conference, we are going to be having 2 contests. So we have the speaking contest and we have the AI and tech business pitch contest. And this is just a way to empower people, because my own mantra in life is you cannot only empower people with words. If every day you are just motivating, talking, maybe someone does not even have money to buy data. Maybe they don't even have money to buy a computer or buy a phone, and you are motivating them. It's like you're asking them to do magic. That's the way I see it. I feel like beyond words, beyond encouragement, there should be practical opportunities to also empower people who are willing to push themselves out of their comfort zone. So we have 7 finalists. Look out for my post tomorrow. I'm going to be unveiling the finalists, 7 each of these contests. So you should look out for my post tomorrow to see them. It's been a long time process trying to bring down the number to the 7 best people who would be contesting for the cash prizes and the mentorship. We have a fundraiser to support this process, which surprisingly has raised like $1,700 at this point. Our target was $5,000. My Ibironke, please put our link in the chat for people who may be willing to support our fundraiser, right? Every little bit counts, everything counts, because in the end, I say again, motivating people with words is good, but sometimes we need to kind of take the step ahead and inspire through our action, through creating these platforms, through creating these communities. I believe for most people, especially young Africans, the challenge is not talent. The challenge is access. And that is what ScholarUP Mentoring Academy has represented, where I'm able to bring top professionals like my Ibironke, Professor Roxanna, Dr. Hannah Brew, to come and talk to people who would ordinarily not have a way to connect to them. It's just building that bridge and making the world smaller, just giving access to people so that they can believe more in themselves and just push forward and understand that you have the greatness within you. You just have to be willing to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. So please, I'm sure my Ibironke have put our GoFundMe in the chat. Feel free to support $10, $20, $1,000. Give us the whole 5,000 as the spirit leads, right? We truly appreciate the support. I appreciate you all for showing up here today. So I think that is all I have. In the beginning, I already let us know that I have an event on Tuesday. The link to that event is on the chat, and that event really is just going to be talking about how to build a community like ScholarUP. So I was invited by this Indian company to do this webinar, and they met me on LinkedIn, right? Just as Dr. Anna said. They connected with me on LinkedIn to come and do that webinar, and I'll be doing it just 1 hour, less than an hour on Tuesday morning, so you can register. So lastly, I'm going to look at the chat if there is any question or so. Oh, okay, you said for the Ascension, you like to volunteer. Okay, that's okay. You can check the website. There is a link to volunteering, or you can just send me a message after this, Esther. You can send me, do you have my number? I'm going to put my number in the chat, just in case you don't have it, 979-595-7101. So you can add +1 to that. That's my phone number. You can send me a WhatsApp message and I can send you the link, just in case you don't find it, but it's on the website. But this may make it easier for you. All right. Is there any other question? Is there anybody who has any burning thing in their heart they want to say before I let the speakers do a 1 minute final?
There's a question from Isiorono, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. It's like I missed it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think Dr. Brew, he says, what's the difference between burnout and fatigue? I'm also interested. Yeah, because burnout is such a common word that I didn't know it was a clinical condition. Like that's new knowledge for me, the way I see it every day. So he wants to know what's the difference between them.
So thank you for the question. It's a really good one. And clearly we're all eager to find out about it. So fatigue is one of the symptoms of burnout. Burnout is a syndrome. So when you say it's a syndrome, it means that it has more than one clinical feature. So just to reiterate, 1, the person will be fatigued or feeling tired all the time. 2, they are just not interested in things that they used to be interested in, or they just move from interest to cynicism, you know. So for a typical person who is burnt out, or Amaka, touch wood, you shouldn't be. But if you should be, you're now saying, LinkedIn, please, what's happening there? There's nothing good. It's just bad people. And you're just thinking, it's like the person is just totally changed. The person who was always nice and bubbly at work now feels everybody's against him or her. So then you know that we are there. And then finally, things that they were able to do very easily, like some quick maths, easy reasoning, they can't. They just can't. They struggle to find their words. They sound really numb and distant. So these 3 features are what will let you know that you are burning out. And again, it's a chronic condition. So a minimum of 3 months. You can't start work and 2 days later you tell me that you are burnt out. No, you can't be. It's a minimum of 3 months for it to meet the criteria.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that clarification. I think this is really indeed a learning for all of us. And somebody in the chat, I think, promised, she said she needs the mindfulness guide. So Dr. H, if you can send it to me so I can share, if you have something like a resource that people could easily refer to remind ourselves. And for all the speakers too, right? This is usually, I would put this video up on YouTube and then I'll send the link to everyone who registered for this event. So if there's any additional resource, just like a quick guide, I would also just put that together and say, okay, this is from Dr. H, this is from Professor Roxanna, this is from my Ibironke. You can refer to it. This is the full video for those who want to go back and review it. So thank you all so much. I've been so proud of myself. I've started managing time well, that I can really do this event and finish it in 1 hour, 10 minutes. It makes me happy. It's been a journey of just sticking to it, trying to say we can learn and we don't have to make it 10 hours of learning before we can share a lot of value. I want to thank everyone that showed up today. really, it's been, it makes me so happy that I finally got this program started, this alumni series, because I want to keep track on my people. I'm like mother hen, right? Not my, I always feel like I'm old. So anybody that goes through, I want to just keep seeing that they are showing up and they're still doing things. And I feel like this touch point every month is something that brings us together. So in the end, I'm going to give time. Yeah, Dr. Anna,
Dr. Mark, I'm sorry, I've got a question. I mean, given that in the course of the week, I'm doing this presentation on the motherhood penalty, and I've got two lovely mothers here who have been through the mill. I might as well ask them that what has it cost them for them to sacrifice for family, being a mother, or even in terms of their profession? If my question is not clear, I'll retake it. What price have they paid as mothers so in terms of their work, just so that they can be present as moms? Maybe quick 2 minutes each.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. My Ibironke, Professor Roxanna, who wants to go first? My Ibironke's eye is already chucky. No, yeah, my good.
Yes, I had to put up my hand there because I'm one of those mothers who had to quit paid employment for 7 years to be a full-time mom to my children. It remains one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to take in my life, but it remains one of the biggest decisions that paid off for me. That was where I learned to teach young children. That was where I learned to teach. That was where I learned to study what mindful parenting was. At that time, it looked like a setback for me. But those 7 years, the notes from those 7 years, I wish we had systems where we could store things then and not written. The notes from those 7 years, the lessons from those 7 years, I worked hand in hand with the teachers from my parents, my children's schools to learn how to teach my children. That is why it was easy for me to step into this role that I'm in now. So that was a price. By the time I was going back to paid employment, I couldn't play catch up with my peers anymore, but I'm happy.
Thank you so much for that concise and practical response, right? There's always that sacrifice, right? Professor Roxanna, what is your own answer? What price even though I know you touched on it when you talked, but now you can tell us concisely.
Okay, I don't know if you can see me, but can you hear me?
I see you and I hear you. Yes.
Okay. For some reasons, okay. Just said that when you were a parent, you were a model. I say if you are a parent, you are a model, and you cannot model in absentia. That's one thing I do know. So that's why I refuse to be an accountant and make all the money in the world. Because after all, who am I making the money for? The students, I mean, my children, because my children. So I had to actually teach at home sometimes. When I was in Nigeria, we used chalkboard. I taught at home, invited students for lessons. And when the lessons are going on, my children are learning. Not sometimes they become some of the teachers. So when a student comes in to learn, they will ask the student, what do you want to learn? My second son will say, what do you want to learn? And they will say quadratic equation. Okay, I can teach you that. And my first son will say, what do you want to learn? I want to learn logarithm. Oh, I can teach you that. So after some time, well, whatever you're doing, I always say that, whatever you're doing, your children are learning. You don't have to teach them. They watch you. So be careful what you do because the walls are watching. I keep saying it all the time. I keep saying it even in your house. Be careful what you're doing because somebody is watching, learning from you. And so those children were learning. After some time, they became the best students in maths. After some time, I found them going to study engineering. Some of my, out of the 5 of them, they're doctors, they're engineers. Why? Because I started on time. I can tell you, everything you do, you have consequences for what you do. So you cannot afford to maybe, I don't want to say abandon or abscond. I want to use the right word. You cannot just leave your children. You can get a smaller pay, even if it's you can teach from home. So you can eyeball those gifts from above. They are gifts from above. Because sometimes they call me and say, Mommy, thank you so much. I remember all you went through. When we came here, we had to go through all kinds of all kinds of situations, but we adjusted. Sacrifices, they're all. That's a lot of sacrifices as long as you're a mother, a parent. All right, that is my take.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Roxanna. Thank you both for thank you for that question. I think that was a good question and a good place to wrap up. I see a lot of people in the chat say, yeah, I love that question. I want to hear the answer. And thank you for sharing that life indeed is all about finding the balance, right? There's always, if you're giving so much time to one thing, maybe something else is suffering. So we just have to keep juggling as much as we can. Sometimes it's very tough, right? Sometimes some of these decisions are not as easy as people would just say it, right? And sometimes people like my Ibironke and Professor Roxanna can speak in retrospect. For some people, it's something that is still current and happening, and you just are still in that process of figuring it out and moving forward, and it's not like a 20, 30 years ago thing that you did. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Somebody's asking Dr. Anna, she said, thank you for the wonderful session. Can we get your slides for further reflection? That's for you to decide if that's okay. If you share it with me, I'll put it in the email. Be on the lookout. If you registered for these events, usually in the next couple of days, once I find time and it's transcribed, I'll put it on YouTube. I'll send you the link. I'll send any other additional resources just so you can have that. You can continue to, have things to reflect on and to learn on. Thank you all so much for showing up. Thank you all for staying to the end. This is another successful one for me and for all of us. I'm so excited that we showed up today. We're going to be having episode 4 somewhere around this time in December. And we'll still have 3 seasoned people who will come and share something, right? We'll just come and share, come and learn. It's important that we continue to sharpen ourselves is what I believe. I believe that there's hardly any new knowledge in its entirety, but we need those reminders. We need we need rooms like this to just keep us on our toes and keep us learning. Thank you all for showing up. God bless you. Have a good rest of your Sunday. It's just 12:15 for me. If you're in Nigeria, it's probably time to sleep. Have a good night's sleep. God bless you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Yep. Appreciate you.
We not take our picture.
Oh, yeah, please, let's do picture. God bless you. Please come. Let's do it. Very important. Who reminded me? Who is that wonderful person? Who's that wonderful person that said we didn't do picture? Let's come. Yes, because I will also send you the picture. I'll send the picture in the email. Just come on, people. Let's have family picture. It's good to always have family portraits. Thank you. More people. So, the problem is sometimes in Nigeria, people don't have lights. Or sometimes they're watching on their phone. But let's smile. Yeah, Ijoma is coming. Okay, good. Good. So I can snip this. Yeah, this is good. Emmanuel, yeah, stay away from the light. Okay, good. So let's smile. Pose. This will be the shot. Good. I have it now. I'll snip it. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. You see, that's why this ScholarUP is such a wonderful family. They already know my pattern. Bye, everyone. God bless you.
Bye. Thank you.